Good evening, students. Today we are going to learn about ignition system of an 4-cylinder petrol engines. So, first question is, what is meant by ignitions? As you know that in all multi-cylinder engines, the combustion is due to burning of air and fuel mixtures due to the spark power it will release. It means the chemical energy of an fuel we are converting into mechanical power. So the combustion we need, the burning of fuels inside the engine cylinder where the energy releases. So that process for combustion purpose, how much the current is required. So we have just only 12 volt from the battery, but you will get spark more than 18,000 volts is required to induce the electric spark at the spark plug where the spark plug fitted at the engine cylinders. The battery is 6 or 12 or 24 or 48. Lead acid battery and water in the battery pack. So the positive is earthing, negative is connected to the systems. So how this may boost 12 volt to up to 18,000 volts current at spark plug. Minimum sparking the current voltage is required more than 14,000 volts. To conversion of this 12 volt to low voltage to up to high voltage, this ignition system is designed. Its the main function is to produce the high electric spark at spark plugs for combustion of an air and fuel mixture in case of petrol engines. So here how it starts. So the battery 12 volt battery, here the positive is earthing, negative system. This is ignition switch, on off key. Next is emitter, so it reads the current flowing from this battery to systems in amperes. Again 3 amperes, not more than that. You can see at in front of the dashboard, the driver will see when the ignition key is on, how much current is flowing from this battery to the systems. And so up to this is ignition coil, the can type, like a milk can. Same, the shape is like a milk can. So it is called ignition coil. So ignition coil, it consists of two windings. One is the primary, another one is the secondary. The primary windings were connected to LT circuit is called low tension current because the current is flowing just only 12 volt. So the primary windings were, the ratio between the primary to secondary is 1:1100. If the one round is primary, the secondary may be 1100. So the ratio where it is the primary with a few turns, thick wires. Whereas in secondary, number of turns were more. Ratio is 1:1100 with the thin wires, with the standard wire gauge, SWG. So it is called completely ignition coil. In the ignition coil, so I have soft iron core around the hot iron core, and here the primary winding as well as secondary winding, both are wound around the MS bar. And other end is connected to one condenser, we call capacitor also. And next is connected to the cam shaft, cam housing. There is a cam and next a contact breaker point. CB points we call them. Make break. So other end is earthing. It starts from earthing in the battery and it ends earthing, that is called a primary circuit. Where the primary circuit starts from battery, where it ends after its earthing, after it is CB points. Contact breaker points, the cam, this earthing, and it's a condenser, and its complete unit is called ignition coil. Ignition coil, two windings. One is primary, another is secondary. The primary winding with a few turns, thick wires. Whereas secondary winding, so many turns, 1:1100. You see in all TV, mobile, radio, or wherever you can computer systems where the current can boost. The number of turns were thousands. You can see soft copper wire, very thin like a thread. You can see the number of. So it is next from the secondary winding, it is connected through a ST cable at high tensions because the current is more than 18,000, 14,000 minimum it required. Because we need to make a spark here. When the spark will occur, when the current is trying to jump, in housewise also, whenever the short circuit, how the short circuit will occur, so there is some loose connections. There is a gap between one terminal to another terminals. That gap may cause production of a spark. That spark we need it here. Exactly reverse of what one knows. So high tension current, how to develop? You see, the current go to the distributor center. This is called a distributor, like a distributing center. It distribute the electric current to respect to spark plugs. Respect to spark plug means again, which spark plug first? There are 4 cylinders, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which cylinder first, which cylinder second? That is called firing order. 1, 3, 4, 2. It is a 4-cylinder engine. If it is a 3-cylinder, 1, 3, 2. If it is a 5-cylinder, 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. These are called firing order. It means the firing order in which the firing occurs at the spark plugs. Firing orders. So how to connect? Here is the rotor, distributor rotor at railway signaling. It will rotate continuously. It is fitted on this cap. The unit is called distributing center or distributor. Distribute the electric current to respect to spark plug with a high voltage. So again, there is a small carbon brush and it is connected to a rotor. When the rotor is connected, presently the fourth is connected. It means here is a fourth is spark is occur. Now we'll see how does it occurs. Because we need spark to produce the electric spark. It means for complete combustion of an air and fuel mixtures in the engine cylinders. Okay, this is the diesel structures. Now see one by one. Battery is the storage of 6 or 12 volt current. Lead acid battery. And it is having number of plates, depends on the type of and various capacity we need. And where the ignition switch on and off, like ignition key, you call it ignition on and off. When it on, the current will flow from the battery to the system. How much the current is passes through this? So then it is ampere meter. It is ampere is fitted on that meter on this primary circuit. And where the current is low, therefore it is called low tension. Low tension, LT cable. HT cable is not a new word. And they both are measured in the ignition coil. Ignition coil is act as a step up transformer. Step up transformer. The current is just a 6 or 12 volt from the battery, but it boosts up to 18,000 volts. 18,000 volts. So due to this ignition coil. So what is ignition coil? See, in primary it is connected primary and there is a condenser. Why this condenser designed? So in the primary circuit, condenser is placed parallel to the CB points. Parallel to the CB points. Where make break. Primary circuit make break. It means if the engine is running at a 4000 RPM, 2000 times it will make break. If the engine is running at a 4000 RPM, the vehicle is will be more than 80 kilometers per hour car running, then it is a 200, it is half of that RPM. Therefore, this all is called 4-stroke petrol engine. 4-stroke, only 1 power. 4-stroke of the engine, cycle complete by 1 power stroke. That's already we learned in CB. So the CB point, so how does it open? How the current will boost? So normally when the ignition key is on, the current is flowing from the battery to this complete primary circuit up to this CB points only 12 volt. 12 volt. When these points are open, when the points is closed, it is 12 volt. When the points are open, so then the current already is 12 volt, it will try to jump. So how the people will make a running? They will run and they will discharge. Bowler in cricket, you observe that. They will run. During this running, they will show the kinetic energy, suddenly they will discharge. So the same here, the 6 or 12 volt current is stored here. When the points are open, suddenly due to the earthing, so the points are open, the current is disconnected. The disconnecting, it means the points were apart, CB points are open. When the CB points are open, so here this maximum current, it will try to jump in a secondary. Once this 12 volt current is jumped to the secondary coil, the secondary is so many turns, 1 is to 1100 number of turns ratio, primary to secondary. That 12 volt, it means 11,000 times it will multiply. So next it goes to the HC high tension cable to the distributor center. From the distributor center, so it distributor has so many terminals. These are called the terminals or wires or spark plug cable. They are connected to the engine cylinders. Each and every cylinder there is one spark plug, sometimes twin spark plug technology also. So once it is going, it is at present it is connected here. Rotor always in connect with this serial number 4th of the spark plugs. Here the spark is induced here. Not serially. So it is there are serial numbers. This is spark orders. So this is called firing order. Its name is firing order. It is the order in which the firing occurs. 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder. So now see what the function of these CB points make and break the primary circuit. How it make and break? Here one is primary, one small contact points. One is break, other is make. So next is condenser. To minimize this arcing of these points when the engine is running at high speeds, arcing will occur. Arc. That arcing minimized by this condenser. When the current is Pins are open, there is a current shutdown, then it will store the energy, that will give the energy to movement of this CV point. So it contact the breaker, make and break. The simple systems work very essentially. So once a spark is occurred, it is more than 18,000 volts is required, up to 24 nowadays. So 24,000 volts may required to produce electric spark. When the electric spark occurs, means simply inside in the cylinder, the combustion occurs. The combustion occurs means energy is releases. This is the system of a 4-stroke ignition system. It is called battery ignition system also, or coil ignition system also, or CV point ignition system also. How the names were? Battery ignition system, or coil ignition systems, or simply high tension cable systems, or CV. Depending upon what you are using in that shape, we can call them name. So almost all vehicles are using battery ignition system or coil ignition system for ignite the air and fuel mixtures for ignition purpose. We need the spark, we need minimum 18,000 volts current. We need 18,000 volt current, this arrangement is there. Another small is a magneto system. We are using in all small old technology, but some aerospace vehicle they are using magneto system also. We will see next coming class how the magnet system will works and what this objective and what behind this all these structures. Thank you. I hope you like this.